thing we didn't place bets.
For
especially for you.
Yeah.
So since it's the Olympics, so obviously football is involved, but not as much anticipated as the World Cup because of the age bracket. I mean the age requirements placed on the Olympics. But nevertheless, good thing that you didn't place any bets for your team.
Yeah.
Spain
crashed out of the Olympic football tournament after
understatement
losses.
pa yung crash ata.
I know, it's...
Yeah, especially when you see who they lost to.
Yes.
Japan.
No, for Japan, I think for the game against Japan, you know,
No, even so, you can't make excuses.
Yeah.
Maybe the best.
Japan
team in Asia,
clearly had the more chances
more
of goal.
chances.
But
and then Honduras.
saan yun?
Yeah.
Where's
Apparently
that?
it's in South America.
Oh. An island.
Yeah. The
Off
South
the coast of
Americans
the
are
continent.
good, but still, Brazil, world champions, European champions.
I'd understand,
If
you
they
know.
lost to those teams,
yeah,
but yeah, really
so
surprising.
being the fan of the team, what do you think happened there?
Well, I was only able to catch the latter half of their game against Japan, and props to Japan for actually breaking down and intercepting passes and just running and running and running. Like they're already up 1-0, but till the very end, they were the ones still pressing up front.
It could have been 4 pa eh. I mean, Nagai, the left winger of Japan, number 11, had 3 chances.
They
pa
didn't
ang goal.
have a lot of finishing
Yes.
to them that day, but lucky they were able to go up 1-0. But can you imagine how this feels for Jordi Alba?
Yeah, well.
Like, last month he was there, like yay,
Champion,
I'm
and then
champions
I'm
of Europe.
crashing.
And then he goes to London, and then he plays with his under 23 teammates, and then they lose.
Screw this! Going back to the senior team.
Yep.
Yeah, so this just goes to show, like, you know, in football anything can happen.
Yeah.
You can be from the world champions, but it comes to mind that, you know, how are your succession plans?
Yes.
How are your grassroots development? How are you feeding the senior team? Which in this case, they've utterly failed.
Like coming from that, alam naman natin, you know, the senior national team of Spain is really the best right now. Right?
Yeah,
Even for
world
the
champions,
world champions, European champions. But coming from that, I think yung grasp kasi nila of the tactics or their team motto which is a tiki-taka, diba?
It's down pat, and the kids don't get it.
Exactly. The problem for me, kasi you have the players with the likes of Iniesta, Xavi, David Silva. Actually, we were discussing this with the assistant coach of Loyola a while ago. Talking about what is the difference between the national team, the senior one, and the Olympic team. Yung pinakaiba nakita, si Silva, Xavi, and Iniesta do incision runs. They just don't pass it around. You know, they go inside. So that creates a confusion. But when you look at the Spanish team now, just passing around, and then suddenly they pass it towards the opponent already. So parang yun yung nangyayari. And Juan Mata isn't Xavi, Iniesta, or David Silva in terms of skill. I mean, that's my assessment.
Yeah. It also goes to show that they really didn't care about the Olympics. If you have 3 overage players,
why put them?
You have Xavi, Iniesta, and maybe David Silva also. It's the same for most of the teams. If you look at the players they've got in there, Spain, coming to mind, Ike Munian is a really, really good prospect. But they've got so many good talents that they just didn't put in the team.
Keeper.
Same
Goalkeeper.
Yeah,
right? Why?
The less said about Manchester United, the better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same for most of the teams. Brazil are probably the dominant favourites because they put some of their best players in there.
No, but the thing is, most of their dominant players are also within that requirement. You have the likes of Neymar, of Oscar, or really under 23.
Yeah.
And they only added Hulk, Marcelo, forgot the third
just
one.
have 2.
They have 2. They have, and their second stringer in midfield is Ganso, which is also under 23. But
very good prospect.
Very good prospect. So I mean, I think now Brazil is going back to their destiny. Anong tawag doon?
Well, maybe because they've never won the Olympics. They're obviously the top team in the world. Historically, they've won 5 World Cups, more than anyone else, and they've never actually won Olympic gold. throughout the history. So maybe it's they're like,
time for them.
yeah, maybe that's what they really want. Yeah, they could really be it, because I mean, you look at Britain, for example. Also, they don't have some of their best players in, some of their best under-23s, and they still don't have Beckham in there, which was again, it was ridiculous.
They have Craig Bellamy.
I still think they should have put Beckham in, but then you know.
No, I mean going just to kumbaga lawakan natin, diba? Lawakan natin yung topic. Putting that requirement there, the age requirement, hindering the success of the Olympics? Right?
To a certain degree, definitely. I mean, obviously, you pay to see the big stars. If you don't have Xavi, Iniesta, or all those players there, definitely it limits the teams. But the Olympics was never meant to be a good football event. Yeah. The World Cup, the Euros, that's football. The Premier League, Bundesliga, that's all football. It's football all year round. And the Olympics was meant for those sports that don't get that coverage, athletics. No one knows about athletics unless there's the Olympics or European Championships on, or the other every 2-4 years competitions. That's what it was meant for. Football, it's why some people called for football to be taken out, because it was taking the shine off the sports that the Olympics was meant to be for.
Yes.
So for me, that's what it's really about. It gives the experience to some players, and that's great, but in the football world, the Olympics it's never taken seriously.
I also talked to my friend that he was comparing it to basketball, obviously, because we're in a basketball country. But he was comparing it now. Why does basketball send their best, and football sends their under 23 squad? And then there's a talk now that they're trying to put also that age requirement for basketball. Yes, and Kobe Bryant actually refuted that, actually reacted to that strongly. And pinag-usapan namin kasi the Olympic basketball came into life basically because of the 1992 Dream Team, right? The first time they allowed the professional athletes to play. So if you suddenly remove that, the Olympic basketball nakilala siya through that. But then if you suddenly put it there, na may requirement na not all players can play, I think they want the FIBA World Championships to be similar to the World Cup.
That's why they're trying to.
Yes, they want to transfer it. The problem is lang for me, kasi the World Cup is known for that already, for football ever since. The FIBA World Championships just became known recently, I think. I mean, not.
It's not an established tournament.
Yes. Kumbaga nauna yung Olympics na ma-establish as a basketball tournament rather than FIBA. So that's yun yung pinag-uusapan namin. He was asking me why can't the countries send their best players for football like basketball for Olympics. So again,
I think eventually with all the young players improving, like under 23 will become even more exciting. So
yeah, yun na nga eh.
Let us know what you guys think.
Yep. So again, we don't know. Again, number one, surprise condolence to Spain.
I know.
Go Brazil. Yeah. So anyway, we don't have a bet. So I no, we have.
Yeah. Well, let's do it then. Let's do the bet.
Okay.
We pick the team. When we lose, we sing the national anthem of that team.
Here.
Obviously, you've picked Brazil.
Yes. You
just announced. I'll have to go for Britain.
Okay, Britain, and then automatically, but virtue of birth. And Nate, I think, is picking Japan because Spain's out. Spain's out. So anyway, do catch us for all your Olympics updates, especially for football. Do catch us. Follow us on Twitter. That's at FTW Sports.